Hello and welcome to session of transaction risk. Whenever any business is attached with cross-border transaction, it means any business is doing business outside the country. It faces many risks. Risk like political risk, foreign exchange risk, then business risk, product risk, acceptance risk. There are so many. Now to categorize this risks in international finance, there are three categories. First is transaction risk, and second is translation and economic risk. Translation exposure, or you can say risk, and economic exposure, or you can say risk. Now, whenever any business unit, as I said, which is working cross border, going outside its own country, going outside its own nation, the business house is facing so many risks. Are number one, the risk of accepting product by the foreign customer. Maybe the product which is acceptable in your country may not be the having the same acceptance level into the foreign country. So this is one of the risks which companies are facing, and that is why companies always uh, should be open with changing the shape, size, color, feature of the product, and so that it should adjust with the foreign customer need. Then whenever company crosses the border, it also faces political risk. When the business house is going to the other country, the time when uh, the government was there may not be the same government every time. So whenever the government change, when political party change, a company may face risk or accepted exposure. So we will discuss in this slide. So there are so many risks, as I said, but what we will discuss, we'll discuss about uh, how this risk can be tackled, how we can manage with the risk. And to understand this easily, I have kept practical example. So I'll be discussing sums, or you can say case study. Not many sum, but I'll just discuss one case study, and I'll try to explain how to manage the transaction risk. Whenever your profit, whenever you are dealing with the currencies, your profit may have impact. Your profit may not be the same as you are expecting, because it deals with foreign currencies which may fluctuate, maybe it appreciating or maybe it will depreciate, and it does have impact on your profitability. So this session I'll be explaining about how the foreign currency fluctuation will have impact on the profitability of the company, and we can say this is nothing but a transaction exposure. When you are dealing business, which is means we are doing transaction, how this risk can be affected and how we can tackle this. To understand this transaction exposure, I'll be putting a case study, and with the help of this case study, we'll try to understand what is the impact of change in the currency fluctuations in your profitability, or in your the change in currency fluctuation, how it impact your company's profit. This is known as a transaction exposure, you can say transaction risk. Whenever you're doing business with more than one country, more than one currency, it appreciate or depreciate, or the example can be one country is dealing business with two other currencies. So may be possible that one currency against one currency, your home currency will appreciate, and against another currency your home currency will depreciate. And because of this appreciation and depreciation, there will be adverse or positive impact on your profit. Before discussing this example, just let me give you brief about it. When, let's say for example, a business, we are from India and we are dealing business in two currencies, one is in pound and one is in dollar. Now when we purchase our raw material, we purchase in pound. That means we bring our raw material from UK, and whatever finished goods we have, we sell it to the US. That means our foreign receivables dollar will be in dollar. Now let us say, for example, hypothetically, let us assume when Indian currency appreciate against UK, that means we are in benefit. Appreciate means our Indian currency becomes strong. Earlier we had payment towards UK pound. Now Indian currency appreciate, that means Indian value become more against the UK pound, and now we have to pay less. So this is one advantage. If the currency appreciate, the importer will be benefited. And on the other side, let us say with the same company, dollar against dollar, the rupee depreciate. So rupee value reduces. Earlier $1 equals to 50, now $1 become 52. So without doing anything, whatever dollar you receive, when you convert into Indian rupees, you will get more Indian rupees. For example, 1 lakh dollar you are supposed to receive, and now Indian currency depreciate. The value becomes from 50, now it becomes 52. So without doing anything, earlier you could have received 50 lakh and now you will get 52 lakhs. So in both the cases, the company is in benefit, so your profitability will be positively affected. But if we had payment towards UK and Indian currency depreciate against UK, so we have to pay more to purchase the same pound, so there is a loss. Profit will be adversely affected. And at the same time, against dollar, Indian currency appreciate, so exporter will be in loss rather than profit. Now you will get less rupees when you convert dollar. So in both the cases, your profitability will be adversely affected. So this is what the impact of currency fluctuation is on your profitability. Now let us discuss this case. First example, I'll explain the example. Again, I would like you to write this example in your book, so that from the further slide you can understand the uh, solution. Now on 1st February, a business entity in Mumbai, so we are in India, purchases raw material from Euroland. So we are purchasing a raw material from Euroland, and we have to pay amount in euro, and we have to pay at the end of April. So 1st of February we purchase, so February full, March full, and at the end of April, that means we have 3 months of time to make our payment. The spot rate on January is 49 and 50. Now we have to pay, that means for us the rate actually, which is suppose we purchase euro right now today, if we want to purchase today, so the rate applicable is 50 rupees, because bank will be selling to us, so we will use ask rate, right? This is first paragraph. Now second, the entity incurs a conversion expenditure of 50 lakh. Now once we bring our raw material, then we'll make process to make it as a finished goods, and it will cost 50 lakh rupees. The finished goods were sold to company in USA on 15th March. So whatever goods we raw material we convert, and we convert into finished goods, we will be selling it to US on 15th March, and our bill was was 12 lakh $50,000. So we will be receiving 12 lakh $50,000. The term of sale included payment at the end of April. That means we will be selling on 15th March, but we'll receive 12 lakh $50,000 at the end of April. The spot rate on 15th March, suppose we could have received 15th March on that day only, so the rate applicable is 45.46. That means we will be selling, bank will be buying, so for us applicable rate is 45 bid rate. Other selling expenses amounted to 10 lakh rupees extra. That means when you purchase raw material, You make processing on this, it comes to 50 lakh extra, plus selling expenses also included 10 lakh rupees more. That means maybe transportation, maybe packing, anything. But to make this goods sold, another 10 lakh rupees company will have to incur. So this is the basic information which is provided in this case. Now at the end of April, the spot rate is available. Now actually our payment has to be made in the month of April, and our whatever bill we are going to receive, that is also in the month of April. Now the rates are given, direct quote are given, rupees per dollar and rupees per euro. Now on April, whenever we purchase, suppose we purchase on April because we have to make payment of euro on April, so that amount is 51 and 52. So rate applicable is 52 because we are buying. And in the month of April, if we are selling our $12,50,000, so the rates are given 44, 45. We are selling, so bank will be buying. The rate applicable is 44. Our job is to find out two things. Number one, what is the actual profit after removing the exchange rate effect, and number two, comment on the exchange rate movement. We will also discuss about the spot rate and the rate given in April. Then we'll compare what happens or how to interpret this rate. So let us see the solution in the next part of this video. Solution for the first part of this case. The first part was calculate the actual profit. So what we'll do is, first we'll calculate the profit as per accounting norms, like what is the profit as per accounting standard, and then we will remove the exchange rate effect. So first we calculate, if without exchange rate effect, what is the accounting profit. So we first purchase, the calculation starts like this. First we are purchasing raw material, but this raw material we purchase from Euroland. So 5 lakh euro, and at that day, whenever suppose we are making payment on the day itself, it comes to 50. So the cost of raw material comes to 2 crore 50 lakh. Plus we also incur 50 lakh rupees of conversion, that is, you can say, making or production cost, that comes to 50 lakh. And other selling expense which was given was 10 lakh. So total expense of making this product is 3 crore 10 lakh. Now if that is already given that we are selling our goods to US firm and the bill is $12,50,000. Suppose we receive this $12,50,000 on March and we sell it on March. That is spot rate. We are selling, so bank will be buying, so 45 rupees will be rate. And the bill amount in rupees when we convert is 5 crore 62 lakh 50,000. So right now we are not considering the exchange rate effect. So this is a basic, or you can say initial calculation of accounting profit is 2 crore 52 lakh 50,000. But this is not the actual one, because the actual payment has to be made for raw material in the month of April, and actual receipt of bill has to be made in the month of April, and the actual, to find out the actual profit, we need to remove the exchange rate effect from this. So this is the basic accounting profit. Now in the next part I'll remove the foreign fluctuations, and then we can find out what is the exact profit of the firm. To make it to understand it more clearly, this is what calculation we have made based on spot, assumption of spot. Suppose we purchase raw material on February and we make payment on February. Second, suppose we sell it on 15th March and we get the check also on 15th March. But this is not, because in case it was mentioned, whatever raw material you are purchasing, though you are purchasing on 1st Feb, but you have to make payment in the month of April, at the end of April. So we'll find out if we purchase in February and actually we are making using April till April, so are we benefited to make late payment? Is it benefited for the company? And number two, whenever we are selling on March and we are allowing our customer to pay us in the month of April, that means 1 month or 1.5 month gap we are allowing our customer, is it benefited to us? because then we become exporter, and if currency depreciate, Indian currency depreciate, that means definitely we are benefited. But if it is appreciating, so the profit would reduce. So now in the next part, we'll remove the exchange rate effect from this accounting profit. Now this is the accounting profit which is we have calculated in first part, which was 2 crore 52 lakh 50,000. Now the material which we have purchased in euro, 5 lakh euro. See this we are using this 3 months credit. We purchase in the month of March, February, 1st February. We purchase in the month of 1st February, and now we are using payment in the month of April. That means February full, March full, and then April last we are making payment. And because we are making this payment late, so let us compare whether company has benefit or company has make loss. So the spot rate which was given 49 and 50, for us we will be using 50 because we are buying and bank will be selling, so ask rate is 50. But if as it is given the rate is 51 and 52, so 52, that means from 50 the rate become 52, the firm will be having adverse effect of this change in exchange rate, and that is why I have kept this 2 rupees with red star, and I have made explanation that for purchase of material the entity has make payment, and so the bank's selling rate will be applied, and because the bank selling rate has increased from 50 to 52, the company will be having loss of 2 rupees per euro. So 5 lakh into 2, the loss becomes 10 lakh. So from 2 crore 52 lakh 50,000 which you have thought, from this 10 lakh rupees will be deducted. Now invoice, the next calculation is invoice value of sale. 12 lakh 50,000 we have made sales, and the date on which we have made sales, the rates were given as 45 and 46. So now we are selling, so bank will be buying, so we'll be using bid rate. So if we could have sold on March itself, we could receive only 45. Just because now we are selling in the month of April, the rate become 44. So we have bank will be giving us only 44. So that 10 lakh is again loss to the firm. So the total loss which company will be having because of this foreign fluctuation is 10 lakh in making payment of euro, and 12 lakh 50,000 in making payment of in receiving receipt of dollar. So total loss which company will be having is 22 lakh 50,000. So out of 2 crore 52 lakh 50,000, 22 lakh 50,000 loss company is having because of foreign fluctuations. So the net cash which company will be receiving on hand is 2 crore 30 lakh. Though the accounting profit of company is showing 2 crore 52 lakh 50,000, because of foreign exchange fluctuation, the company is having loss of 22 lakh 50,000, and so it will be deducted. So the net profit which company could have is 2 crore 30. Now let us analyze this. So what is this? Now to make analysis, as I said, importer will be in loss if the home currency is depreciating. So let us compare the home currency. Earlier the spot rate of euro was 49 and 50. We could receive 1 euro at 50 rupees on 1st February, but on 1st March the same euro, the rate available was 51 and 52. So on 1st February 1 euro was available at 50 rupees, and on 1st April, at the end of April, 30th April, the same euro is now available at 52. Bank will be selling at ask rate. So just because the foreign currency has appreciated against rupee, that means rupee depreciate, importer is facing loss. So this is the first loss. And number 2, exporter will be benefited if the currency depreciate, but if currency appreciate, the exporter will also be facing loss. And in this case, on 15th March, the rate available was 45, 46. So we will be selling dollar. If we could sell dollar in March, we could receive 45. Now we are selling in April, so the rate is available is 44, 45. Again 1 rupee less, Indian rupee appreciate, and exporter will also be having loss in this. So in both the cases, when you purchase raw material you have loss of 10 lakh, and when you sell your goods and you receive dollar and you convert dollar, again you have loss of 12 lakh 50,000. So that is why the total loss which firm was having is 22 lakh 50,000. So, and that's why the final profit is 2 crore 30 lakhs. Now in the last part of this video, we'll discuss about the second question. We comment on the exchange rate movement. Second question is we have to comment on the exchange rate movement. I explained in the earlier part of this video. Now for the solution on exchange rate movement, see, the short term movement of exchange rate is difficult. We cannot predict on everyday basis that this is today the exchange rate between rupees and dollar is 68, tomorrow it will be 68.10. So short term prediction is difficult, but yes, we can always predict currency in the long term. That means what will be the exchange rate between country X and country Y in long term, because based on the current economic growth, based on the current transaction between the countries, based on the productivity of the country, employment of the country, it will be easy to predict what would be the currency of country X and country Y or country Z. But the short term movement of this exchange is difficult, and that's why the exchange rate movement between the transaction date and settlement date have to be adverse. It should not be the same. So it is possible that one currency which may have adverse effect, as we have seen in this case study, but in this case study rupees was weakening against euro, like it was 50 and now it becomes 52. But in case of dollar, rupee is strengthening. So it is possible that a country, the currency can have positive, or you can say strengthening effect against country Y, and it can be having weakening effect on country Z. So it is possible that one currency, which is rupees, is to be weakened against euro, and it become strong against the dollar. Suppose in the same example, if we could have purchased some material from US and we are selling it to euro, there could be positive effect on our profitability, because both the cases importer and exporter will be benefited. But the case is reverse over here. We purchase from euro and we are selling to US, and that is why there is an adverse effect on profitability. But if it is a reverse case, we could have, suppose we could purchase from US and we sell it to Euroland, then it could be the different answer. Also, the extent of weakening or strengthening need not to be uniform. Not necessary that one country which is weakening by 5% against currency 1, the same effect, that is strengthening by 5% against currency, do not necessary that the percentage of fluctuation will be the same. It can be different based on the transaction, based on the demand supply, based on the interest provided by government of both the country. So it depends on so many factors, and one of the factor is the Fisher effect, which is the interest provided by both the countries will also decide what is the currency value between the both the country. So this is what a small case study to understand the transaction exposure. Thank you for the listening. For more details you can visit, and if you like this explanation, put like on this video. Maybe in the next part I'll be discussing about translation exposure. Thank you very much for the listening. Thank you.